And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to this special presentation of Stony Brook Seawolves hockey, live from the rinks on Long Island on LI Sports Network. As tonight, the Stony Brook Seawolves return home to the rinks to take on the Delaware Blue Hens. Mike Calandra back and ready to bring you the action. Alongside, as always, my good pal of mine, Trevor Magnani. Now, Trevor, we had ourselves, I would say, a rather extended break between the last time Stony Brook played to then now. And it's great to be here tonight.
Yes, indeed. It's good to be back here at the rinks in a hot fog, back in the familiar territory, and not with my back against the spiky wall at Dix Hills, but we're gracious for their hosting, and we're glad to have a successful night supporting the Alzheimer's awareness. But tonight, it's a different game. The Delaware Blue Hens are in town, and the Seawolves are here to defend home turf against a team that they've struggled against over the past couple seasons.
Absolutely, but if you had to look at things in a positive light, it's this. Delaware went through a major overhaul this past offseason, losing three of the more dominant goal-scoring offensive threats, which gives Stony Brook a chance to take advantage of that. However, there are still some key players to look out for on Delaware's side, one being Tanner Mahoney, coming into this matchup with a team high of 5 points in 8 games played. But make no mistake, this Stony Brook team is going to be hungry coming off that victory against Westchester when they take on this team here tonight.
Absolutely, and not only do we have Tanner Mahoney to deal with tonight, but we have the points leader. That's going to be Leighton Bisadecki.
Yes, absolutely.
5 goals, 4 assists across 8 games. A force to be reckoned with here for the Blue Hens, and somebody that Stony Brook's going to want to keep an eye on throughout the game tonight.
There's a lot of weaponry on the ice for the Blue Hens. And another name to look out for, Tommy Tracy. Last season, 6 goals, 18 points during the 24-25 campaign. We'll look to see how he brings his offensive powers to the table here tonight. He's got 4 assists under his belt through the first few games played here this season, and that's going to be something that Stony Brook will be very cautious about going, as this matchup will begin very soon in about 15-20 minutes or so.
Right, they take one highlight out for top defenseman here for the Blue Hens, and that's going to be number 8, Thomas Weeks. 4 goals across his 9 games played, 4 assists, total of 8 points.
But we can't leave out one of the more prominent defensemen on the team. That's right, Daniel Berg, the veteran member at the point. He comes into this matchup right now with 5 assists under his belt, averaging over a point per game. One of 3 players on the Blue Hens roster currently this season averaging those numbers. And more importantly, Berg, he led all defensemen on the Blue Hens last season He led all the defensemen last season with assists through those many games played last season, and he's looking to bring more of that to the table here tonight in this early season action against the Seawolves.
All right, let's turn the camera and take a look here at the Seawolves. Not a lot of games needed to go off here with last week's cancellation. Only 3 games played for the Seawolves, but still top of the table is going to be Paul DeSaro. 4 goals across 3 games, 1 assist, total of 5 points. Definitely going to be leaning on him tonight here to be a big impact for the Seawolves.
Another player to watch out for, as we have our starters already that are under our watch, but also more importantly under head coach Chris Garofalo's watch, and it's a trio that has been really flashy, and there's a lot of promise with these 3 mixing up together. Robert Hyde, Justin Nakagawa, and Matthew Anastasio. Although Nakagawa has been seemingly quiet the first few games played, he's gotten plenty of chances, just hasn't cracked the score sheet since the first opening night matchup against Oswego. But we're rest assured there's going to be more opportunities and plenty of chances coming his way here tonight.
Absolutely. And of course, it goes without saying, for the Seawolves, it's going to be Regalado in net to start. Across the 3 games, he's got 2 wins under his belt, including that fantastic game, we'll say, on opening night.
Absolutely. But one could say even last week might have topped that, just due to the fact Westchester, that was a team that had there was a lot of writing on the wall in that game. Westchester being a heavy loaded team, one particular player just absolutely stellar on the score sheet, and the Seawolves, most importantly, Regalado silenced him for the most part, in which Stony Brook took the victory away from that team last weekend.
Indeed, and looking at the stats here on Regalado here, .86 save percentage, 3.74 goals against average. Definitely want to move that in the lesser territory for sure, especially that GAA category. But I think the Seawolves have, I will definitely say, from week 1 to week 2, you could sense a increase of maturity for the Seawolves.
Absolutely, and that was the exact word that assistant coach Andrew Begalucci used in how last week's game transpired. We saw how their approach to this season came about, in which their mission, they want other teams to adapt to their systems. They're tired of playing behind and playing catch up. And last week we saw them bring a physical element to the game, but didn't take it over any boundaries. That forced the Westchester's hands to do some damage to the Seawolves, in which we saw Charles Poirier. Luckily, he's still in the lineup tonight, but took a nasty shot at center ice near the end of the second period. Unfortunately, Alex Skameka, on the other hand, out due to an upper body injury. No estimate as to when he will be back in the lineup this season.
Yeah, and unfortunate news for the Seawolves, the big loss, but as the saying goes, it's next man up.
Absolutely. And for the Seawolves, they have plenty of artillery in their hands to make that happen here tonight.
So tonight for the Seawolves, definitely the goal for them is to keep up on the momentum from last week. You get the extra day off, a little rest in the bag, so to speak. And for the Seawolves, it's about playing a full 60 minutes of hockey tonight, keeping it between the lines and keep themselves out of the box and taking advantage of a power play that honestly hasn't been so hot to start the season. 2 for 12. Hoping to get a couple today if they get an opportunity here against Delaware.
Whereas Delaware's power play, they've been rather, I can't really describe.
Very similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Almost down to the same percentage point, rounded, of course.
14%. And you have to wonder if that's going to play a factor here tonight, whether there's plenty of power play opportunities or not.
Now, I should say on the flip side of the penalty kill, that's where the percentage points are very similar. The Seawolves 2 for 12. That's what I meant to say earlier. The Seawolves are actually 1 for 9 on the power play, 2 for 12 on the penalty kill. The Blue Hens, they're 5 for 31 on the penalty kill. So similar percentage points there. We'll see if either team struggles in special teams this evening.
We'll just have to wait and see. But let's turn our attention to tonight's starter for Delaware. And there's a big name you have to look out for. Actually, 2 big names you have to look out for, whether the start or not goes to these 2. First of all, you have Timmy Brilli, sophomore out of Boston, Massachusetts, coming into this matchup with a 2-1-1 record, 2.18 goals against average, 923 save percentage, both leading in those categories amongst his other 2 teammates in goal. But a name that has made plenty of noise over the last couple of seasons at this particular venue, Jacob Snellenberg, the graduate student, 2-2-0 this season, 2.94 goals against average, 906 save percentage, but more importantly, a must-see highlight reel that is to endure if you are wanting to watch back in preparation for this game here tonight.
Absolutely, and one thing to keep a note of here with this Delaware roster is the breadth of players on their roster that have seen the ice this year. You go down the list here, and very few players have goose eggs next to them in the games played category. Then again, the Blue Hens also have played 9 games this season. They have many more games under their belt than the Seawolves, and it almost feels like the Seawolves have been starting their season a little late, a little behind others, so they're definitely not mid-season form, whereas some of the teams that have been playing this season have had those games to work out the kinks, get their lineup settled in, and figure out who their mainstays are going to be. But for Delaware, you go down that roster, and that shows some depth.
And it is particularly interesting when you consider the fact that 3 of their highest goal getters that were on the team last season are no longer a part of the organization due to graduating. We're talking about names like Dominic Guido, Ryan Rodriguez, Justin Guelph, just to name a few. 2 of those players, Guelph and Rodriguez, actually combined for over 100 points total. But one player that is luckily that was part of that system last season, Tanner Mahoney, 3rd most points by any of the Blue Hens last season. He'll look to carry that load in leading this mix of veterans and newly ingrained players to the mix here tonight.
Absolutely, it's the mix of veterans and freshmen, so to speak, that will help drive that program forward. Hey, look at the coaching staff tonight here. The Blue Hens, led by none other than Todd Middlemeyer, assistant coaches Jansen Banj and Dom Liganelli, sorry.
Middlemeyer coming into this matchup with a astounding record of 120 victories. He's looking to pick up his 121st here tonight, but it would only happen if nothing bad happens to the Seawolves, as right now they are firing on all systems coming off the big victory against Westchester, and it's only bound to get even more intense as the evening goes on.
Absolutely here. Chris Garofalo, Andrew Begalucci, and Michael Birdie will lead the Seawolves on the bench this evening here. And we're going to take a break here as the teams wrap up their warm-up. We'll be back in about 15 minutes time here for starting lineups, national anthem, and then it's time for puck drop from here at the rinks in Hauppauge here on none other than Long Island Sports Network. That sound last week. Alrighty. Well, as advertised, over in the Seawolves side of the net, Steven Reganado. And on the opposite end, dressed in blue, prepared for the Seawolves onslaught, none other than Timmy Briley. Is it Briley or Briley? While we get the pronunciation on that, we'll throw it down to Leon Bassett for the starting lineups.
From game between University of Delaware and the Stony Seawolves. The starters from Delaware. Number 5, Jack Keller. Number 27, Noah Lewis. Number 14, Louis Well. Number 4, Alex Inventor. Number 13, AJ Mule. And in goal, number 31, Timmy Barley. And here's your 21 Seawolves! On defense, number 8, Charles Warrior! His defensive partner, number 24, Dylan Kowalski! The left winger, number 13, Justin Nakagawa!
Always good to see the crowded benches. The Seawolves opting to have their goaltenders sitting in the auxiliary section of the bench, while Delaware has relegated their goaltenders to penalty box duty tonight. Welcoming up here the WUSB radio team into the broadcast booth this evening, along with some of the Seawolves scratches tonight, taking some final stats for the team. Excellent spin maneuver to avoid the check there. Now we'll take another look at that. That was quite the rush here for the Seawolves here. They'll come up the ice here. I think that one just deflected wide. Napoli's going to get dumped from the faceoff. Ice just a little bit too smooth for that one to stop before the goal line. Turnover. Riley able to corral that underneath himself there as that one ping-ponged into the danger zone. Zarro is smelling number 5. with speed. It doesn't matter. That was a thing of beauty. Seawolves don't get the call there on the excellent effort there from Poirier, but what they don't get on the immediate, they get on the rebound here. And you'll see Poirier here kind of bobble the puck here, and he's going to go through 3 Delaware Blue Hens here, try to get through a 4th, take the stick. The rebound's going to come out in front here, right into the slot, and the weird backhand is just going to get in. Bringing some intensity here on the comeback shift. Take a look at this one here. Reganado caught a little off guard on that one, but he manages to get the glove up there for the save. What's up? Yeah. That's a fight for that one, and that's going to be offside. A common spot for pucks, I see. I see one still stuck up in the net over where that hit. Well, if that puck lands, it somehow comes onto the ice, that means something had to hit that net for that to happen. And therefore, the play's dead anyway. Delaware wins the faceoff. And Stony Brook set to put those guys back on the ice here. It's been all Delaware since the Stony Brook goal. We have to take another look here at this mad scramble that happened in front of the Seawolves net. We'll take a look at it at the next whistle as we're getting ready to drop the puck here to the left of Steven Reganado. All right, as promised, that sequence here from Delaware. 1 shot on goal, 2, make it 3, and that one goes over the net. And Stony Brook able to get out of harm's way. And Reganado doing his best here to try to control the pace here in the Seawolves zone. As he can see, Stony Brook hasn't been able to really get any offensive opportunity in the last, I don't know, it's been like probably 4 or 5 minutes now. Stony Brook barely able to even cross the blue line before getting their change in. No, went out of play, hit the padding on the penalty box, which of the 2 options, I think Delaware is happy it was that and not going down the ice for icing. And unfortunately, that one just trickled outside of the zone. Hyde looking to get a little revenge there. Poirier tried to get a glove up there to try to turn it around to go the other way, but the icing here for the Seals gives them another crack at an offensive zone opportunity here to the left of Riley. And I think they got tangled. Their masks got tangled. Both players holding their arm up. Sir Linesman, can you please untangle us? In all my time playing and in all my times here, that's the first time I think I've seen that happen. And it looks like Mara's going to go with Warner. Definitely looking like Warner not happy with the call, expecting things to go both ways on that one. Not the way the refs saw it, unfortunately. And another one joins the many in the net. Anastasia with a great dive there to try to get a tip on that puck and gets just enough on it to break that up. somehow stays out. Yeah, speaking of recoveries here, we got this 2-on-1 opportunity here for Delaware. Stony Brook defense, good communication here to take care of the second man, take care of the pass. Great defense there. And then right here, Reganato here gets over to the post just in the nick of time there to prevent that one from becoming the equalizer. Hand pass. Well, before we do that, looks like we're going to have a conference and see maybe this one gets overturned. It looks like the call on the ice stands will bring it outside the zone. Takes a big check there, but kept the puck in the zone there, and he's going to grab it here. Stony Brook doing a great job of staying out of the extracurriculars tonight. Sarah trying to get untangled. Now take another look at this one here. Puck comes out of the scramble over to the corner. Deflected shot there, gets the second chance and right from the high circle there and puts it home. And that's got to be frustrating here for Delaware. Can't beat out the icing. Can't say these things. You can't say these things.
It's only the first period, man.
I will say he's definitely building off that momentum from the game against Westchester for sure. You can see the confidence in basically everything he's doing out there tonight. We'll take another look at the Stepney goal here. Again here, kind of a broken play here. Shot to the corner here. Block shot, gets it out to Stepney right into the top circle there, and puts it home in front of the massive amount of traffic in front of Riley. I did connect, and Napoli just sent it wide. And I'll take a look here at the call. The stick does get to the midsection there, and that's going to be, what was the, did you see the signal? Was it a hook?
This is the last minute of play, period.
The Lions had to get a dodge on that one, as that one was heading right for his head. Some broken timber. Oh man, we got to look at that last sequence there. That was close here. Yeah, absolutely. We got replays, so let's show you some replays here. Let's go with the Marigold to start off here. And this is just your classic right place, right time, effort play here from Poirier to get into the zone here. He's going to go and try to do it on his own here, set up the offensive opportunity here. And look at this, just forehand, backhand, and just picks the corner just perfectly there. And that's right now your game winner if the game ended right now. But you look at the Stony Brook defense here and some of what they've been doing today here. We have this scramble here from the Blue Hens in front of the net here, unable to capitalize. And the Blue Hens have been getting close. They've had their sniffs at goals here. This 2-on-1 opportunity here was absolutely crucial for Stony Brook to stop here. And you can see the defense just gets in place there. I'm going to play that clip one more time. We'll slow it down here, just show you exactly what happens here. We'll pause it right here. You see,
That's somebody just told me.
so we're taking a look here at this one here. The defense made the call here, so one player's taking the shot, one player's taking the pass here, and the angle here on this Delaware forward here really doesn't have a shot at making this pass here, and he's forced to make this shot here. Reganato's able to see this one pretty clearly, but it doesn't even matter here because he's going to get blocked here and shut the opportunity down right then and there. Is he muted?
And we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. A look at the replay here after our first period in which the Seawolves lead 2-0. There's the goal by Stony, which currently stands as the game winner. The other goal was provided by Lorenzo Mera for his 4th of the season. And first thing we'd like to do is apologize for the technical issues, but we got it restored and under order.
We got our 1s and 3s untied.
And for Delaware, they are looking for anything to go their way in order to tie this game. But with the way Stony Brook is playing, it's been a game that they haven't matched at all, one bit.
Siren announcing the Seawolves' arrival to the ice here, and we'll change sides here, and the Seawolves will start the second period, a man down for 8 seconds.
Hudson DiNapoli currently in the box for the hooking infraction. But rest assured, this Seawolves team is going to be firing on all cylinders once we get back to even strength hockey.
Well, I'd say they've been firing all cylinders despite anything tonight. Even though they're down in the shots on goal territory, Delaware had some stellar opportunities in the first period. Stony Brook leads 2-0 here on 2 pretty good goals. Again, this team's characterization this year, I have to call just downright effort.
Absolutely.
A lot of the goals they've gotten this year have just been right place, right time, and with the right amount of effort.
And you can also say that's a testament to the maturity that they've provided this season. And we saw a glimpse of it last year, not really taking much of those retaliatory penalties. And here we are through the first few games this season.
Well, you see it tonight. I mean, Stony Brook doing a really, dare I say, uncharacteristic job of staying out of the extracurriculars tonight. And it goes to show they've got a power play and only 1 penalty to show for it tonight.
Justin Nakagawa treating this latest shift as a power play as the penalty kill culminates without Delaware registering a goal. We are back to 5-on-5 hockey.
And Nakagawa there trying to get one there right off the draw with the right amount of speed and almost catches the netminder Timothy Briley by surprise.
And Cody Diaz once again set to take the draw against Robert Hyde. Hyde entangled there, actually. Pardon me, that was Tanner Mahoney on the draw, 36, not 38, but nevertheless, Stony Brook remaining put in the zone as the action continues for the Seawolves. Poirier steps into one, couldn't get elevation on that shot. At least I thought that was a shot attempt and not a pass attempt, as this gets swallowed up by Briley.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's you try to take that quick shot there, or you try to get something that's going to generate a rebound in front. Not always trying to snipe for the corners from the point. Sometimes it's about making an opportunity.
With the way it looked like he was going for a patented snapper, but just didn't have the oomph on it. We'll have to see if he provides anything more for the Seawolves as that chance misses over the net. Labos and Cormanic with DeZaro mixing it up once again with the Blue Hens. Cormanic centering feed in the bumper, missing wide for Labos. Practically on one knee, pulling the trigger there. DeZaro floored to the ice after releasing the chance. That gets swallowed up once again by Briley.
And DeZaro gets up with a head of steam there and then says, you know what? I'm not going to do anything here.
Wise choice.
You could see, it almost feels like there's some restraint in play, but the Seals are still playing with an edge.
Applying the Andrew Luck method, one could say. If you know what I'm talking about, there's a video of him taking all these hits, and he's like, good hit, nice hit. Literally. And
That's
there's a big one, yes. Delaware trying to erupt the other way. Offsides called, and to the dismay of the Blue Hens bench.
And that would have been quite the opportunity the other way, had that stayed on side.
And yes.
Stony Brook happy that one got called down, because that would have been quite the opportunity for the Blue Hens.
Alex Infanger here. Couldn't win it back, but it sets Stony Brook chasing as Wenrick goes and recollects. Tangled with two Blue Hens players there as Vernillo applies some of the pressure here for Stony Brook. And here he comes, applying that pressure. Vernillo, what a very innovative flip play there. Practically no room, but somehow made it happen and almost connected on the stick with the Stepney.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Seawolves here, this is defensive zone patience at its finest here. Not seeing the opportunity, cycle it back. And you see the Seawolves here will just do that over and over here. Eventually they get that opportunity here with the Blue Hen blowing a tire past the goal line and sends it the other way for an offensive opportunity.
The ingenuity showing here for the Seawolves. They sit comfortably with a 2-0 lead. Mara on the steal, feeds it in front.
No dice.
No, Vernillo further got taken the task, and Anastasio trying to do the same to one of the Blue Hens as this gets dumped in as Trezera tries to clear out of danger. Valenti will try to do just that, but it's kept alive by the Blue Hens.
Nifty grab out of the air there to keep the puck deep in the Seawolves end.
Valenti with another stab at it, couldn't connect with his intended target, Vernillo. Back on his feet, hunting for the possession. Stepney working hard. Feeds it in front, but couldn't connect with neither target that was rushing to the goal that time. He had DiNapoli and Mara both crashing in the crease all at once. Face off to the right of Briley coming up here as DiNapoli wins it back to Legret. Pulled the trigger but couldn't get it on net as that chance bounces around in front before it's picked up by the Blue Hens. Legret, though, almost kept it alive before then is sent in by Poirier. Riley to the near wall. Legret throwing the body once again. Kowalski trying to get a touch on it. There's Warner. Served the team's only penalty here tonight. And Reganado plays this one out of the goal rather dangerously as this one hit off the outside of the cage as he tried to swipe it to the far end. Instead, Warner keeping the possession in the zone. Delaware almost coughing it up at the top as Legret came in looking for the steal. A lot of players bunching up for the Seawolves, but able to clear the zone before they get it right back again. Kowalski gave it up, and that chance is denied by Reganado. Costly mishandled there by Kowalski.
Yeah, almost a costly one as Reganado came up to save him.
Watch out here, Cooper Smith rushing in with Legret, and a massive stop sliding from right to left by Briley to shut Nate down.
We'll take a look at this one here. Back-to-back here, scoring opportunities here. First one courtesy of a giveaway here in the Seawolves zone. Reganado up to the task to stop this one here. And just following that, the Seawolves are going to take it the other way. And an almost 2-on-1. And access denied.
Nakagawa had broad daylight on the rebound there, but he shot it wide. Anastasio looking to hunt for it once again. He's got Hyde for support. Now Delaware gonna push ahead the other way. Backhand try hitting the outside cage there that time. Another chance blocked in front. So that shot from the top couldn't make its way through traffic. Haskins delivers it forward. Nakagawa pushes it in further in the zone. Briley. Once again, Delaware trying to navigate through all this traffic that's being applied here by the Seawolves. Wenrick able to stash it forward. Couldn't connect with Hyde in time in that moment. And a possible breakaway here for the Blue Hens. Save Reganado. A big stop there by Steven as the Seawolves remain out in front. And for the Blue Hens, a look in the air as to wonder what and how.
What it's going to take tonight.
Yes, indeed.
And this is a clear as day breakaway here. Reganado getting the pad out there to shut the door.
Face off to the right, Reganado remaining calm, cool, and confident as he is working a gem here tonight. Anastasio, now Haskins, gonna dump it in deep as it takes a ride along the wall. Nakagawa coming in, trying to keep the momentum on Stony Brook's side, but instead it works into Delaware's favor as they come in, trying to cruise to a chance. And on the far end side, backdoor no less, that almost went their way. Meanwhile, Nakagawa and the Seawolves working back ahead, but the Blue Hens may have another opportunity erupting at their hands. Another chance missing wide as Keller keeps it in the zone. Valencia entangled there. And now we get a conference brewing right along the wall. Delaware, meanwhile, bringing out a new reinforcement, but not before Cormanic is able to knife it out of harm's way before it's sent back in by the Blue Hens. 14 minutes to go here in the second. Seawolves still leading by 2. And Stepney, the latest goal scorer. There have been plenty of chances for both of these teams in this period so far, neither getting the best of these two netminders. Big hit thrown there. And this will not reach the end boards. It's waved off by the linesman, and DeZaro almost took it away there. Mara tried to get a hold of it. This will no doubt reach the end boards for icing. And once again, the face-off draw will reside in Delaware zone.
Delaware trying to do their best here to get something.
You got the message? They're still saying some people can't hear our broadcast. All right, Stepney's chance denied. We should be good now. And the Seawolves feeling oh so good as Stepney will race back and collect once again. Stepney. Hungry for another opportunity as the Seawolves lead comfortably by 2 goals here in this second period. Shots even apiece at 19. Poirier trying to step in, able to control it. Couldn't throw it in front as Delaware tries to forge the other way. Tried to forge ahead the other way as Poirier tries to work his magic. And he throws it forward, couldn't connect with the reaching stick of Vernillo, and that goes for icing, moving the faceoff draw back into Stony Brook zone. Shots 19 apiece as Stony Brook has all things working out for them here this evening. This gets tossed in further in the zone, giving chase. Liam Gott. Seawolves got their number. Here's DiNapoli. Couldn't throw it out of the zone, and here's a chance for the Blue Hens. Save, Reganado, rebound, sprawling out for dear life, and the Blue Hens score. finally, as Delaware crashes the nets and the insurmountable pressure gets the best of Regalado as he was all out of position, not able to make the recovery save in time, and it's 2-1.
And that's just unfortunate for the Seawolves. Good effort there from the Blue Hens there to get that one into the net there. And they cut the lead to 1.
And that play was generated by no other than Leighton Beziadecki, the team leading points getter. Perhaps the most dangerous player on this Blue Hens roster. And here's a chance, almost, for the Blue Hens once again. Another opportunity blocked in front. May have been friendly fire as the Seawolves try to provide the muscle the other way. Mara working, Nestepny in the bumper. Players entangled and a possible breakdown here. Rushing over to prevent the 2-on-1 Valenti as Mara sauces this one safely back in the zone. Vernilla. Here's Keller. Poirier, watch out. The Blue Hens have found the momentum needed to get in this game, with that one goal besting Regalado. Chance from the top. Glove save by Steven as Delaware taking over in shots on goal, 22-19. Kowalski falling at his own expense, trying to clear the zone. And Regalado is going to hold up carefully here. And may go down as another save for Steven. Cody Diaz. And Robert Hyde. Entangled on the draw as that chance bounces wide. Warner, Anastasio, and Nakagawa in pursuit of the possession here, which is controlled by Penepresso. Couldn't throw it forward, but able to get the lucky bounce to progress forward before the Seawolves impede his momentum. Hyde dragged there for a second or two as Poirier heads to the bench. Hyde still pursuing the Blue Hens, as Kowalski has to race back and collect. Tried to do it cleanly as he had his hands full that time. Wenrick as well. Seawolves finding themselves facing an uproaring challenge as we get two players mixing it up behind the play. That was Warner and Hyde. Hyde was calling for the feed feverishly, and it leads to the Blue Hens with a chance. Save missing as the opportunity missed on the rebound. The save was made initially by Regalado. He's got 23 stops alone here tonight. More battling in the zone. At the top, Anastasio floats it wide, missing the high-rising glove hand at Briley, and the rebound couldn't be wheeled back in front in time for someone to bash it home. Another heavy check thrown, and Haskins stumbled to the ice at the expense of that hit. 9 minutes to play left here in the second. This one angled forward and further angled further ahead. Blue Hens almost progressing that time. Another chance as the Seawolves continue to mix it up down low. And not before Labos rushes forward, muscling out past one. Not able to outmuscle the second Blue Hen as Trezera gets a hold of it. Clean, swift dump in as Labos goes in for the chase. DeZaro, Cormanic tried the wraparound stuff. Couldn't find the back of the net that time. A stick may have gotten in the way to stop him.
Potential opportunity here.
Valenti looking to create that chance as Huevos got knocked to the ice. DeZaro threw it back wildly in front, but no target found in sight. Here comes Mara. Vernillo, chance blocked off the leg there of one of the Blue Hens as Moore races in, and the glove save is made by Regalado.
Regalado still pretty sharp in this game.
7.5 remaining in the second. A lot of hockey to be played, but if there's one thing that can be said, it's that the Delaware Blue Hens have the momentum in their favor.
Absolutely, and the Blue Hens, they've been finding their opportunities more so in the second period than in the first. Finally getting one by Regalado tonight. And they've been doing good work in the back end, preventing Stony from getting any real good opportunities of their own.
That one goal that bested Regalado changed the whole complexion of how the pacing of this game has gone in just mere moments, as Delaware feeding off of that goal while the Seawolves struggling to find their scoring ways, but they've come very close numerous times this period. Mara in search of the possession. Now Vernillo coming back into the mix. Poirier couldn't dump it forward in time as Vernillo couldn't keep it in the zone. And Stepney surrenders it back to Warner, and Warner skates it forward. Infayer couldn't get a touch on it, and Hyde back on the chase. Gives it away. Vernillo, Hyde, one-timer, score! Just perfect. 3-1 Seawolves.
And that's how you draw it up in practice. You got the 2-on-1, set the guy up wide here. Go across the net, open up, and it's hunting season for the Seawolves.
And you gotta just applaud Vernillo. Spectacular IQ that time. Instead of just going for the shot, he knew the pass. He had
his player behind him, drop the puck, set yourself up for the one-timer. You only got one guy to beat, and the goaltender's got to pick a way to go.
And Hyde wasted no time wiring that shot home. 3-1 with 6.5 to go. Robert Hyde, second of the season. 3-1 Stony Brook.
And that's just, like you said, it's a high IQ play there. You know what you got behind you. You know what's in front of you. You put yourself in the best position to put a puck in the net.
Shot off the draw, missing wide for Gotts as the Seawolves once again. Wenrick. Keller. And Seawolves will go back to the penalty kill as cross-checking is signaled. And Delaware will return to the power play. And Robert Hyde collects a penalty along with that goal that he just scored just a few moments prior.
The Seawolves power play was successful on their first endeavor. Sorry, penalty kill was successful on their first endeavor, stopping the Blue Hens. We'll see how it fare this time around.
Chance missing there as traffic started to build in front for Regalado. Another Seawolf. That's the second time Valenti has been dropped to the ice. Meanwhile, Delaware works it in front. Rebound off the boards. Scramble. No one able to bash it home. Cleared away and skated forward. Kyle on the step knee. Can he get an extra step? He did, but he couldn't finish it off on the backhand.
What a turn of affairs on that play.
An amazing effort by the penalty kill specialist, Kyle Nastepny, as Delaware with an uneventful start to the power play sequence.
They had their chance, and then Stony Brook found a better one.
This one is twisted back around, and Mahoney able to find it. Panapresso, Mahoney, and once again, Stony Brook put himself in a great spot to not only deny those scoring chances, but also breaking those passing lanes to then go the other way.
All right, it goes without saying we got to take another look at this one. Delaware with some great puck movement here in the Seawolves zone here. They're going to set up a great shot on goal here. Puck is going to scramble in front here. Seawolves are going to break it out here and tip it out of the zone here, and we're off to the races. Unfortunately, not able to convert that to a goal.
50 seconds remaining on the Hyde penalty as Cormatic is on the chase. And Delaware is just not clicking here on the power play as Stony Brook putting all the pressure on this special teams front. In the bumper, Diaz couldn't pull the trigger. He was knocked down by Haskins as Delaware down to their last 20 seconds of power play time. Panapresso, far wing feed, wouldn't go that time. A stick possibly impeding that chance. Panapresso circling back, chance denied, rebound, loose in front. Another opportunity missing for the Blue Hens. And that does it. And a possible breakaway again. Robert Hyde!
No!
Went with the Forsberg maneuver. He almost had it for his second.
Put it on a string and try to drag it around the goaltender. Like the idea.
Shots 29-23 Delaware, but the score remains 3-1 Stony Brook.
Goes without saying, Delaware, I will say, got some good opportunities on that power play. I think you give them another power play, and I think a goal's going in, whether it's a power play or a shorty.
Stony Brook with Stepney on the ice can turn that power play into a mere penalty kill for the ages, as we saw that a few moments ago. And here is Delaware trying to exact some revenge as we are even aside once again. 3 penalties committed in total tonight between these two teams. And while there is physicality amongst these combatants, not a lot of animosity. Chance missing there. May have gotten a piece of someone positioned in front as the Blue Hens continue to try to work to another goal. Back down low. And it bounces off the back of Anastasio, allowing Delaware to remain in the zone as Stony Brook attempting to clear out of danger here. Trezera having his hands full, able to curl away from danger for the time being, and now room to escape for Hyde. He's going to backhand that one aggressively, but it went for icing as he tried to connect with Nakagawa.
Stony Brook finding a little bit of success there by slowing it down in their defensive zone and being a little more technical with the puck here, forcing the Blue Hens to try to cover some of the other opportunities the Seals were presenting on the breakout, therefore giving Stony Brook an opportunity to really find a way out of the zone.
Robert Hyde.
Now it looks like Stony Brook's going to take their timeout here, as they do not like what they see out there in terms of a staffing situation.
And this is what you want to have if you're Stony Brook. Get things restored for them with how they played to their systems just a while back in the first. They led 2-0. You give up the goal to Delaware, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we woken up the beast. Now it's time to get back to status quo. So this is a good strategy here by Chris Garofalo.
You take the timeout, you allow yourself to get a change here. Get yourself out of harm's way.
Let Stony Brook dictate the pacing of this game. And with this timeout, It also gives Delaware a chance to collect their thoughts and wonder how they are going to continue to feed off of this momentum potentially. But as we saw a few minutes back, Robert Hyde quickly shutting down all that momentum for the time being with that blast, which put Stony Brook ahead by 2 once again. Cormatic entangled there. Huevos tosses over to the far wall. Cesaro couldn't get a touch on it. Poirier did. Keller couldn't clear the zone. Almost rolled past the blue line there. Stony Brook luckily keeping it alive. Kowalski dipping and diving. Kowalski down low mixing it up was Labos. Turnover committed. Cormatic. Cesaro. He's got another one. 5 goals. And it's 4-1 Seawolves. He is automatic.
Take another look at this one here, and we're going to see the turnover here at the high slot here. Screenshot opportunity here. Slides it up to the low slot. And none other than Cesaro puts it home.
Paul Cesaro.
On fire this season to start off.
Absolutely.
And that might be underselling it.
Anthony Bernillo on the chase, looking to add to the board. You know he's hungry for his first goal of the season. His first year wearing the Seawolves sweater for head coach Chris Garofalo. Lorenzo Mara trying to get his licks at another opportunity. Possible breakdown here. God racing back in. Nice play to set up a chance. And it almost went in at the expense of Haskins, who was able to knife it out of harm's way. But a penalty called and interference signaled.
You got to take a look at this here. You have the initial turnaround pass here. Puck is going to just kind of sneak through there and then right through the 5-hole the wrong way into the corner. And there's your penalty right in the corner there, and that'll be 2 for interference.
Jackson Haskins committing Stony Brook's 3rd penalty of the evening, which gives Delaware their 3rd power play of the night.
And I called it here. It's either going to be a shorty or a power play goal on this one.
Especially when Stony Brook puts out Kyle Nestepny. That fact couldn't be more real as we've reached the final minute of play here in the second. Possible carryover of this power play to the 3rd. That's if Delaware converts quickly, as that chance ricochets off a stick there. And the Blue Hens getting very active. And watch out, everyone taking cover on the Blue Hens bench.
Now that one, that could have been a change of angle there, and that might be going the other way on a breakaway for the Seawolves. Delaware's got to be careful. The Stony Brook Seawolves have been very good at anticipating those pucks at the blue line and in all those passing lanes and going the other way with speed.
I'm watching out for Nakagawa, that being in that position, as you alluded to just a few seconds ago. And there he is, creating the havoc at the top. Oh man, a tangle up between the captain Cormatic and one of the Blue Hens that prevented Cormatic from dashing the other way. Another blocked play by the Seawolves.
And Nakagawa's going to just dump the puck deep here.
Like you alluded to,
down to 10.
The shutdown passing lane strategy by the Seawolves paying off in their favor. And a long sauce up ahead. That will do it. 4-1 after 20 minutes of play, and Stony Brook is in the driver's seats.
What a period. A lot of good things to say about both teams in terms of their ability to kind of hit that next gear and amp up the intensity. Delaware with a ton of shots on goal, ton of great scoring opportunities, only able to find the back of the net once in this period. It could have easily been 2, it could have easily been 3. We could be talking about a 4-4 game here if some of these shots go behind. Mr. Steven Reginato. But for the Seawolves, Reginato's pitched a gem so far, and he's kept most of these shots except for that one scramble in front of his net out. And Stony Brook gets to take advantage of some defensive breakdowns on the Delaware side, and a very fortuitous penalty kill, being able to kill off 2 penalties. And now this is going to be a third that they've already killed on minute 12 off, where they've even been sniffing at a potential shorthanded goal. So we'll see what this looks like here in 14 short minutes here during the break here. We'll come back for the third period and see if the Seawolves will score a shorthanded goal, if the Delaware Blue Hens will score a power play goal, or if I'm proven a liar. But you'll have to come back in 14 minutes to find out what that outcome is going to be. You're watching Seawolves hockey here on Long Island Sports Network.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
fans, we welcome you back to the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, third period just upon us as the officials and linesmen have returned to the ice, and now we await for the two teams to make their entrance before this third period gets underway. Score stands 4-1 Stony Brook. The latest being provided by the Seawolves. Intense, very electrifying offense. Robert Hyde with one of those goals. And the Blue Hens, they too got themselves on the board. But we still have 20 more minutes of hockey left to be played, and things could always change, Trevor.
Absolutely, the 3-goal lead, the most dangerous lead in hockey, and the Seawolves own it right now. They also own 48 seconds of a penalty kill that I promised in the second period would result in a power play goal or a shorthanded goal. So we'll see what the Seawolves come out with, and we'll see what Delaware has to come out with here, and we'll see whether or not Steven Reginato will net his third win of the season, or if the Delaware Blue Hens will find a miracle here in the third period and claw this one back.
Jackson Haskins sit and waits in the penalty box for the time to tick to 0 as Stony Brook will begin this third period. 4-on-5 for these next 48 seconds as we get things going once again. And the Blue Hens couldn't cruise to center that time as that chance is wired home. And Justin Nakagawa makes it 5-1 Seawolves.
And I am not a liar. We know the result of this one. I called it from a mile out that one of those results would happen. And finally, the shorthanded goal happens here. What a play here from the captain to get things started here. He's going to get the puck right up to the slot there. And goal-smitten Nakagawa is going to put this one home here and give the Seawolves a 4-goal lead.
Goal number 2 for the man they call Juice to make it 5-1 Stony Brook here in the third, as that chance wired but deflect off a stick and out of play. And going back, and something that was wired, I mean, that shot was belted past.
It was deflected.
It was. Oh, wow.
Right off the defenseman's stick, is that's why it kind of took a weird carom up to the side there. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Briley would have had that one, but
oh, wow.
The misdirection there.
One-timer and a save to deny that chance by Reginato.
Last chance of the power play.
And no dice. 5-on-5 hockey once again. One-timer. That's 2 misfires on the clap bombs for Delaware. Warner looking to set up possibly a third. Stony Brook trying to have a say in preventing that. Guy trying to get a hold of the possession as Poirier
takes a big hit behind the net.
Now he is entangled. Meanwhile, the possession sent back into Stony Brook's hands, and Poirier will control things. Here's Nestepny grabbing it from Poirier, and back the other way comes Stony Brook, head full of steam. DiNapoli belted off the puck there. One-timer Valenti, and almost another redirect in front, getting the best of Briley as we get a skirmish that's quickly diffused by the officials.
Briley there able to manage that deflection. Rough day in the office for Briley.
And it's worth noting, he came into this matchup with a 218 goals against average. We assume that number is going to skyrocket after this one is all said and done.
Well, this is Briley's 5th game, so maybe not as much as you think, but definitely going to head north after this one, though.
Blue Hens. If you can say one thing about Delaware's case, though, they still have a lot of time in their side to change things up.
But Stony Brook's defense has just been laying on the pressure big time.
DiNapoli almost connecting with Cooper Smith that time. We get a conference brewing in the zone once again. Look, Reds couldn't fork that one the other way. And Delaware having trouble progressing forward. Offsides called as that one got touched up by the Blue Hens.
Delaware is, the clock has quickly become quite the enemy now with a 4-goal deficit, 17:34 to go. They're going to have to figure out Reganato and the Stony Brook defense if they want a shot at drawing this one close tonight.
Wenrick. Oh, what a move there by Hyde. Hyde.
50 moving the kick to his skate, to his stick too.
Nakagawa on the ice. First shift since scoring the shorthanded goal. And everyone taking cover on the Seawolves bench as that one gets knocked into that location.
Friendly exchange there from Garofalo and Birdie on the bench there as they laugh as the puck splits their heads.
Meanwhile, Vegalucci just in a stoic position. He's just radar focused.
Vegs knows this game's not over yet until the clock strikes 0.
Channeling his inner Larry Bird, one can say. Here is Nakagawa. Nakagawa trying to pull it through his legs there as Haskins tosses that one down low. Couldn't connect with Anastasio. Hyde moves over to a new location. And now Delaware trying to progress the other way, but to no avail. Stony Brook controlling the narrative rather with conviction as Anastasio couldn't get a hold of the possession. Instead, it's tossed in further by the Blue Hens. Racing in to try to avoid the icing, which they do. And Vernillo will pick it up for the Seawolves, or at least try to exit the zone cleanly. Instead, able to knife it out of harm's way, as this will be recollected by the Blue Hens. Brady Burke. Oh, he practically broke the ankles of Mara, who was trying to steal it away from him.
I got a little close for comfort.
Here is Nestepny trying to spin the turbines here. Almost getting in with a shot chance. Instead, will elected to go for the pass, and back the other way comes Gott, and he gets rammed to the ice as Reganato covers up.
He made a nice recovery at the end there to spin around, get his bearings, and get back on his feet before careening into the net.
I'm very surprised. One of the things I wanted to touch down on in between the intermission was Stony Brook, they're leading by a large margin, and you know that's going to cause teams, any opponent, to get frustrated and take all these penalties. Try to get Stony Brook on, try to get under the skin of Stony Brook, and you got to give credit to Delaware not losing their composure, at least as of yet, as they trail by 4 goals.
This has been a good game, relatively clean, and I mean, you've had your hard checks, but everything has been between the lines today. Well, for the most part.
And the Seawolves trying to add to the board, as obviously we mentioned, plenty of hockey left to be played. We know that's what Andrew Vegalucci is thinking on the bench. He wants his team to win at no matter what cost it is. And for them right now, he is hoping that Stony Brook just gets through this game without any further damage. And if that means they hold Delaware just to 1 goal, then so be it. William Cormatic driving hard to the nets, and an incredible pad save that time by Briley. And that one almost touched
Friendly
on
fire.
again.
And Stony Brook knots another one.
Sound the goal horn.
And this one comes by way of some friendly fire, setting the puck up right in the slot for almost a tap in here. From the point to the slot, Kick is going to create a save here and knock him on his rear, and unfortunately unable to get up to the top corner for the save.
Wait till you hear this statistic, Trevor, and this is going to blow your mind. This is the third consecutive game of 2-goal games for Paul DeZaro this season alone.
He's setting a pretty impressive expectation very early on, and when he has a 1-goal game, it's going to feel like a disappointment.
Couldn't have said it better. Obviously, the Seawolves have their work cut out for them. Tomorrow is Legret's chance, shut down by Briley, and by work cut out for them because they hit the road to Delaware after this one ends tonight. And you know for sure the Blue Hens are going to be hungry and motivated to try to win in front of their fans.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. You get the home and home weekend. Love to see it because it, in a way, yeah, I hate to frame things as cost savings, but you don't have to get the hotel overnight. You go and you leave at the same time.
Absolutely. Obviously, and it's also going to depend on the distance between the opponents. So
absolutely,
in this case,
yeah. But when you have regional opponents like Delaware, the home and homes make sense.
Oh yes.
Especially when you can do it as a Friday, Saturday.
Although an Oswego Stony Brook home and home would be fairly interesting, one could say.
Indeed. Well, Oswego was commuting back both days, which is why we had a. Actually, was Oswego commuting? I don't remember. I don't know if they took a hotel or not.
I think they were, but they did split the series. So that second game, if you're Oswego, could be treated as a home game. And they also had a lot of friendly neighbors in the stands that did travel, or at least were from the islands, to watch them play.
Well, I mean, that's what having some good New York opponents will do for you.
Absolutely. Chance in front, missing wide off the stick of Gotts. And Stony Brook once again trying to prevail the other way. Nakagawa couldn't get a touch on that one fully. And this is going to reach the end boards for icing. And now we're starting to see the gasket being opened up here from Todd Middlemeyer as his team trails by 5.
And if you're Delaware, this has to be probably one of your biggest bouts of adversity so far during the season.
And not to mention, too, and this is for Stony Brook's sake, a good conversation I had with Andrew Vegalucci pregame was about how the team has prepared to adapt from playing at Dix Hills to back at the rinks in mid-season, no less. Because they have played at Dix Hills, but that was the end of the season a couple of years ago against Pittsburgh. And he told me, no, they're not really much of an adjustment just because the Seawolves consider this the home rink. They practice here, they play their home games here, and it's
familiar territory. This
absolutely.
Is this rink in particular, I think, is the one they usually get their practice ice on.
Yes.
So they're very familiar with the various bumps and nicks and crevices in the boards.
Gotts missing wide. And those practices, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, if you are keeping count of the schedule. Oh!
And we got a little bit of a kerfuffle here as Anastasio's being hauled off to the box.
It was only a matter of time before the thermostat was going to blow up here as Anastasio.
He was unhappy with something here, and I don't even see a signal from the referees yet on what was called.
And by all indications, it does not appear that Warner will get a penalty, so this is not going to be offsetting.
We'll see what the call here is. Still no signal here from the officiating crew.
Well, either way, if this ends up being a lengthy penalty, this is not something Stony Brook can afford. Similar to what happened a couple weeks back with Robert Hyde getting a 10-minute misconduct, you don't want to have your key beneficiaries in the penalty box for undisciplinary reasons.
Well, with nothing up on the board here, we can only assume he said something the referee didn't like. Oh, there it is. 2 minutes are up on the board. Still don't know what he got called for.
And we will wait and see if he does get out of the box after those 2 minutes expire for us to find our answer, whether this is a 2 and 10 or just 2 minutes on
Well, judging by the anger from the Delaware bench, they're saying we need another guy in there, and it looks like it's going to be a 2 and 10. Again, still don't know what we got. Can only assume it was something, saying something to the tune the referee didn't want to hear.
And this one couldn't be cleared out by the Seawolves. But something that Stony Brook can look on as a positive trait here tonight is that they are perfect on the penalty kill.
Well, not only perfect, but more than perfect is they've got a shorthanded goal by way of Nakagawa tonight.
That is also true. Blue Hens with 12 minutes on their side. At this point, just looking to get through this game maybe without any more further damage. Maybe collect another goal or two, but I don't see a comeback being put to a test here, and that chance nullified by Briley. And
look at this effort here from Smith.
Big chance almost erupting again for the Seawolves. And one thing I am surprised about is that Briley is staying put in this game. They are not making the switch and bringing in Snellenberg or Roselle to the mix tonight. And that could also be the answer as to who is going to get the starting nod for tomorrow. And Labos almost cruising in for his first goal of the night.
Well, you look at the games played statistics here for Delaware, and it's been relatively even. And it will be even after this game here, as Briley will have chalked his 5th game played.
Touched on, quick feeds all around, dot denied at the last second by Reganato. Blue Hens down to their last 20 seconds of power play time.
Well, we can finally tell you what the penalties were for, as we've got 2 for roughing and a 10-minute unsportsmanlike misconduct.
Hand pass signaled, moving the face-off draw back outside of the zone. And we got 10 and a half left remaining in regulation. And out of all of this, the shots on goal are fairly close, 34-31 Delaware.
And it looks like Delaware will nullify the remainder of this power play here.
And I did see the misconduct signal.
Well, just kidding. It's going to be a 10-minute misconduct.
Yep. Things started to unravel for Delaware as Stony Brook sits comfortably on top. Diaz on the hunt, and just like that, Stony Brook, another successful penalty kill here tonight. Centering chance wouldn't go here. Keller keeping it in the zone. Diaz trying to search for it, able to throw the body against Wenrick. Centering feed wouldn't go. Keller has to maneuver over to a new location. As the bodies continue to bang away along the wall. Haskins able to lift it out safely. Vernillo almost stole it away from him as Wenrick back in the zone. Trying to come in on cruise control. Centering feed wouldn't go. No target in sight found there. Under 10 to go here in the 3rd period. Panapresso guides it forward. And he's off to the bench. Meanwhile, a conference ensues along the half wall between the two foes. Mara able to spin away carefully. But the Blue Hens keep it in the zone. Reganado is going to collect himself another save with that lift-in try on the backhander.
A nifty little blocker save and throws the glove over it to lock it in place. Almost as nifty as the hand maneuver up at the blue line to get that scoring opportunity started.
Certainly. 9:14 remaining in regulation. Watch out. Poirier took a tumble and 2 there off the draw. So a pair of misconducts, 1 each for both Delaware and Stony Brook. That will keep both of at least one of their players off the ice for a lengthy amount of time.
I think both of them are basically scheduled to come back out with around 30 seconds left. Maybe a little bit less, we'll see. But not enough to give them the gate, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. This is cleared away, and Kowalski's going to return the favor with that soft toss. Poirier steps into one, chance missing wide. Kowalski looking to deliver another opportunity for the Seawolves, but to no avail. And Poirier lined up his man for the hits. And there, watch out between him and Tommy Tracy.
You can see the tension starting to boil over a little bit here.
Poirier tried to clean him out with the initial check, and Tracy came in with the retaliation, and that was the end of that. And that's another factor into tomorrow night's, depending how the rest of the contest here goes between Stony Brook and Delaware here. You can only imagine the frustration that Delaware is feeling right now is going to lead to them trying to start some extracurriculars, and that may set the tone for tomorrow afternoon's game against Stony Brook when they return to their territory. We'll just have to wait and see how this all unfolds, as we got 8 more minutes of hockey left to be played here at the rinks. Now Stepney trying to guide it forward, navigating through traffic, couldn't get through everyone with the possession in hand. Valenti taking the task there as Nakagawa tries to lead it forward, and the Stepney. And now Trezera leading the cavalry with a chance. And Hyde crashed towards the net that time. Watch out here, possible breakaway for the Blue Hens, and Reganado said no. Stretching across to negate that chance. Cooper Smith almost offering the same the other way, as things are becoming rather animated here in the twilight hours of this hockey game.
You can see the frustration of the Blue Hens right now. Stony Brook able to move the puck relatively easily and almost kind of not taking it as seriously as they were in the first and second period.
Here's Trezera. Haskins. Watch out again. Legret. Pulling no punches tonight as he nearly scored in this contest. Had a great opportunity, and there was almost another one for DiNapoli.
DiNapoli in the right spot there. Unfortunately, stick not down to put it on the puck.
And he gets floored to the ice. He's back up on his feet. Legret hustling no matter where the possession is. And he tried everything in his right to keep the puck alive in the zone that time.
DiNapoli, unfortunately, looked like his helmet came a little ajar there, so it gets off the ice.
There's Wenrick with Haskins, Vernillo. Oof, Mara taking the task there. Stepney, now Vernillo able to steal it back. Vernillo with open space. Can he pull the trigger? He did. Couldn't get a clean shot off, but the big block was made, and you can tell it was Austin Vecchio on the receiving end of that defensive play.
Yeah, Vecchio is really struggling there.
And the Blue Hens got to try to somehow get this out of harm's way so they can get Vecchio off the ice, as he is literally just ailing in pain.
Hockey players are built different.
They certainly are. Stony Brook trying to get through the last 5 minutes without any more damage, as they've held the Blue Hens to just 1 goal here tonight. And that was back in the second period, as the captain Cormanic races in with a chance. Glove down by Briley, and we'll have a face-off draw coming up in Delaware zone.
Delaware at this point, they gotta start setting the pace for tomorrow. Keep their heads cool, maybe try to get one in the net here tonight to close out on a high note. But at this point of the game here, you got four and 3/4 to go here.
Score! Seawolves put another one in the back of the net, and that time it's Labos.
And the NCDC product strikes here right off the faceoff, off to the right wing, finds him at the high slot, and he just gets the shot on goal. Labos is right there for the rebound, and he puts it away.
.441 remaining, and Peter Labos picks up his second goal of the season. And this game completely outmatched for Delaware here tonight, as Labos joins in on the scoring party. Watch out here. This one stays on the ice. Looked like it was heading in our direction. We're closing in on the final 4 minutes of regulation here, and a very convincing performance by the Seawolves, and they may get another goal potentially here. Vernillo off to the races to the net. He's stopped, and one Delaware player lost their glove in the process.
A great defensive play there, and a great step up there from Briley to stop that one.
3.5 remaining. But tell that to the Blue Hens, who are going to play all the way to the end of this one.
Well, that's what you got to do, especially these 2-game series. You got to keep the intensity up through and through. Even if you're getting crushed on the scoreboard, you have to let them know you're still there.
I know it's 7-1, and we highlight the goalies and the goal scorers tonight, but I have to, and I wish we caught this on replay. There was a moment just right there a few seconds ago between Teddy Valenti and Brady Burke. They were entangled. Burke lost his stick, and Valenti, it seemed like he was just going to throw it in a different direction. He does almost like something out of a movie, like tosses it, and Burke, practically not even looking, just goes like that, catches it out of midair. Like, I mean, that was so cool. So, I just wanted to point that out. Because obviously, you can tell Burke was trying to get under the skin of Valenti, and Valenti was just like, here, you can have it. So, the Blue Hens will not pick up the victory here tonight, evidently, against Stony Brook. And they will have a lot of answers. They need a lot of answers.
I was going to say, this game probably presented a lot of questions.
Absolutely.
But you go back, you watch the tape, and try to make heads or tails of what happened, and you make your adjustments. For Stony Brook, it's the questions become, what do you do to anticipate that change and continue to drive the pace of the series?
And if we have time before everyone packs up, before we leave the door, we're going to have to ask Andrew Vegalucci or Chris Garofalo that same question, because we won't be on hand to call the game tomorrow in Delaware.
Yeah, that'll be courtesy of the of Delaware's pretty good team down there, the 412 Delaware Hockey Network, I believe it is.
Yes, and their games, just like how our games with LI Sports Network, can be streamed on YouTube. And we will be watching that game very carefully as we watch on here tonight, as the Seawolves will begin the weekends with a very dominating victory here over the Blue Hens on home ice. After an extended break following the big victory they had against Westchester University at Dix Hills. Final minute of play has been reached. Starting to hear applause coming out from the Seawolves fans, a rather tame applause, as Stony Brook continuing to try to make Delaware work for it.
And work for it they are.
And as you mentioned, one goal for Delaware could be what they need to just leave the ice. And
like I said before, at this point you're playing for the you're playing for momentum at this point. You're trying not to take a big hit or try to leave something bad on the ice here. You wanna try to leave this game as clean as you can.
And you have to give it to both of these teams. They are playing all the way to the very end, but in keeping their boundaries as the goal horn goes off one last time, with the Seawolves celebrating an astounding 7-1 victory. Paul DeZaro, 3 consecutive weeks of 2-goal games as Stony Brook travels to Delaware for the back end of this home and home tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, the Seawolves, they played a complete game tonight. I think we're going to have some informal handshakes here at center ice here as the teams will pack up and head to Delaware for the second half of the home and home. This definitely is a high mark of the season so far for the Seawolves. One of their best efforts they've put on the ice, and probably in recent memory, this is it feels like the most dominating victory they've had on home ice in quite some time.
Everything is just clicking right for head coach Chris Garofalo, Andrew Vegalucci, Michael Berti, and the rest of this Seawolves team. They are just firing on all cylinders, and the momentum they are riding on right now, the possibilities are endless for them in the coming months as we await the first official ACHA rankings once that comes around.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that in the preseason, but definitely some things to keep in mind here for the Seawolves as they finish up this series. Delaware ranked 22 at the start of this ranking period. Again, we're in the second week of the coaches poll. We do 5 of those before we jump over to the computer rankings, and I think if you're Stony Brook here, you're going to get some votes, especially if you close out the weekend with the sweep and you close it out with the sweep with the scoreline like you have tonight. But again, it all comes down to the coaches poll, and right now it's basically whose line points, because none of this will actually matter. These coaches polls will all go away once we go to the computer ranking. So this is really just kind of like a vibe check on the season. So.
But all we can say is that the vibes are
immaculate.
Exactly. That's the word I was coming with. And this is why you are the best for doing this. Always there, taking the words right out of my mouth, knowing what my thought is going to be. So thank you for that, Trevor.
I do my best to try to complete your sentences when I can.
Thank you so much.
But let's complete this broadcast here and get out of here. The Seawolves skate away tonight with a 7-1 victory over the Delaware Blueheads. You're watching Seawolves hockey here on Long Island Sports Network. We'll see you here for the next Seawolves broadcast.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger, we are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.